everyone, and welcome to another Monday. It's time for another ramble. This week I was actually going to do one of two things. You can see I felt like being a ninja today. I like playing dress up every once in a while. Nothing freaky or anything. I'm not a nurse or a prostitute or anything like that. It's just, every once in a while I feel like going covert, doing some fucked up shit. But, yeah. So I was playing Kingdoms of Amalur, and whether you believe it or not, I was playing with this on. I get into the role of rogue a little bit more when I'm playing the part in real life too. I'm not really that weird. This is just for effect. Anyway, so this week I was thinking about one of two things. I was like, shit. I was thinking about what do I want to ramble about, and I was thinking, oh man, there's this big story that just hit, and I want to talk a little bit about it and get your guys' feedback on it a little bit. So, if anybody didn't notice, or on the way in you didn't know the tagline up there, Guild Wars 2 is supposedly coming to consoles eventually. That's weird, isn't it? Or is it? Is it really weird? We're going to go into that a little bit today. First, I'm going to get rid of that. I'll go down with that. So yeah, anyway. This is something that I've been discussing with the guild. I've been discussing with my friends in real life. I've been discussing with just random people from YouTube that talk to me through messaging, or on my Raptor or my Steam account, and I've gotten a lot of mixed bag on this one actually, and I'm going to give my opinion on it personally, for anybody who gives a rat's ass about some guy from New York's opinion on video games. So yeah, anyway, this is the thing that hit. I'm going to read the whole thing. I'm also going to link it in the description so you guys can go and check it out. It got fed to Raptor, and that's where I picked it up. But it goes on to say, and this was posted by the G4 feed, which I don't really pay attention to G4, and I don't pay attention to like mega giant reviewers or anything like that, because usually I find the games that I enjoy the most, they kind of trash. And personally, I think a game is as good as the person that plays it, how much they enjoy it. So this is going to be more of a serious ramble. It's not going to be all sight gags and stupid shit like that. So sorry to disappoint anybody that wanted to watch me make an ass out of myself or something like that. Maybe it'll happen. Who knows? But anyway, yeah. So this was the post. NCSoft and ArenaNet plan on bringing Guild Wars 2 to the consoles eventually. NCSoft rep confirmed the console version was in development during a conference call today. For the console game, when it comes to Guild Wars 2, as we have announced already, we are in the preparation stage, said NCSoft when asked of their plans for console development, and also for other titles we are in the preparation stage, but nothing has been finalized yet for me to make specific comments now. Apparently, the console version is old news. ArenaNet's Martin Ketstein posted in the Guild Wars 2 Guru forums that the console version had been publicly discussed several times already. Shame on me for not listening to them. It's news to me now, and I'm excited. Before you cancel your PC pre-order, NCSoft also mentioned that it was unlikely that the console version of Guild Wars 2 would launch with the PC version. As excited I am by this Guild Wars 2 news, I think I'll still play it on the PC, although if this game comes out for the Wii U, it might be interesting to play with the tablet. Okay, first of all, the grammatical errors in this part of the feed by Nicole Zavalich, you should be ashamed of yourself personally, because there's more than a few grammatical errors in this. And it just goes on. There's not many comments actually on this. I don't know exactly how many people know about the Guild Wars 2 going to consoles. news. If you haven't heard about it, you know, it's news to you. It was news to me when I saw it 4 days ago. I had no idea. I've been watching everything that they've publicly put out there for the last, 4 years? And I don't ever remember them saying anything about they were in plans to port it over to consoles. This is the first time I'd ever heard of it, and at first I was kind of pissed off about it, but then I was kind of excited about it, and now I'm kind of mixed about it. And I'm gonna tell you why. Okay. Now, I've played a game in the past that was shared across consoles and PC, that being Final Fantasy XI. Now, it did help that game tremendously. The game is still semi-strong, too strong. I know it's stronger than Final Fantasy XIV the last time I checked. But yeah, they brought Xbox, PS2, they brought a lot of systems in on the PC version of Final Fantasy XI, and if you remember correctly, the PS2 version released a year after the PC version, so PC players actually had it a year beforehand. Now, ArenaNet might be looking at this example and saying, you know, that's a pretty good idea, and with the whole community aspect of it, you could see how that would be beneficial as bringing as many gamers together as possible and forming like a mega community. It's only going to make Guild Wars 2 stronger, and in the end, it's going to make them more revenue. It's going to be able to make the expansions and the content that they release throughout the game, it's going to be that much better. So on that regard, it is good. Now, keep in mind, I've been on both sides of the spectrum. I've been a console gamer, a handheld gamer, an application gamer, and now I'm a hardcore PC gamer. I can't go over here on the couch and I can't sit down and play a console game for more than maybe an hour and a half, 2 hours at a time anymore. And that's all I used to do was play consoles. The old Nintendo, Super Nintendo, Genesis, all those old systems. That's how I grew up. And of course, SimCity on the Mac. If anybody remembers, like the first ever Macintosh computer, I used to play SimCity and another game called Dark Castle, which was just the shit. I love Dark Castle. I wish I could find it. I'll probably look for an emulator of it. But what I'm saying is, you have two different camps here, which is basically your console gamers and your PC gamers, and you see the fights break out all the time as PC gamers are like, yeah, well, we have the better games, we have the better system, PC gaming's where it's at, it's the only way to game. And then you have the console users saying, oh, you guys are wrong, you know, I'm comfortable when I play, you have to sit in a hard-ass computer chair, or, you know, sit at a desk and play a game. How can that be comfortable? You can play with a keyboard and mouse. How can you play an FPS with a keyboard and mouse? Well, anybody that's ever played an FPS with a keyboard and mouse knows that it's pinpoint accuracy. There's always the graphical upgrades, whereas on a console, you're pretty much stuck with what they give you. You can't really upgrade on a console. Now, that being said, the different camps don't want to share their games. You know, how long has the PC community been trying to get Dark Souls, which would be an amazing port to PC, to get Dark Souls on our systems. But right now it's console only. And the same can be said with what we have. Forever, PC has been MMO central. You know, it's where the quality AAA titles go. They just don't go to console. Final Fantasy XI did, but it, you know, was mixed bag. I remember playing it. I bought it. I had a crappy computer, and I was so excited. I was a huge Squaresoft fan back in the day, and I remember I was like, oh my god, this is going to be the best, and I left EverQuest for it. I remember actually, and this is just a little something that I probably shouldn't be saying, but I did. But I actually stole the PC version from a local Walmart. I ripped it off and you know, took the security tag out of it, and I was so excited. I got home and I tried to install it, and I had an old Gateway computer at the time, and personally, all the discs, I started putting the game on the computer, and I had to go to work that night. And I remember it's like, wow, man, I wasn't even through the first disc the next morning when I got home. It was that bad, and I got it installed finally like 4 days after, I ripped it off, and I had one corrupt file, and it wanted me to tear the game out and reinstall it entirely. I was like, fuck that, there ain't no way in hell. And basically, I got the music, but I had no graphics. And I was pissed. I remember I was pissed. I actually still have that original PC version. It's hanging around my house somewhere. I don't know exactly where it is, but I remember I packed it up and I was so upset and I was so pissed off. I reestablished my EverQuest account, and I was just, I was infuriated by this. And I remember I had to wait a year, and I got it when PS2 came out. I remember I got the HDD, and I was so fucking amped, and I was like, oh yes, I'm gonna play this game. And the first thing I heard when I got in, because in Final Fantasy XI, everybody knew when a console got the game because of the influx of characters that came onto your server, and of course it was a noob fest. Nobody wanted to party with you, and in a party-intensive game, it really hurt the community because nobody wanted to party with the PS2 noobs, nobody wanted to party with the Xbox, noobs, nobody. And for a while, it was really hard. You could say, well, I'm not, you didn't really have to mention what system you were playing on. People automatically really knew. I don't remember exactly how, but yeah, but you really had to prove yourself if you were a console gamer on Final Fantasy XI. And once you proved yourself, you basically got where you needed to be. But I remember just like thousands of people that couldn't prove themselves and just gave up on the game because, as I said, it was a very party-intensive game. You had to party in this game. There was no way around it unless you were a Beastmaster. But to get the Beastmaster, you needed to unlock the job, which you had to be level 30. And basically, you had to start partying directly at like level 11 or level 12 with every other job. So, I mean, come on. It was a rugged road. I was a red mage, and I remember I met some of the coolest people. I wanted to be a red mage since, I ripped off the PC version of it. And I was like, damn, I can't wait to, play this game. And I had it all pegged out, T.R.O.M, red mage. I went really far by, just learning the red mage in and out and playing, every Final Fantasy game beforehand and knowing a little bit about how everything works and, the slow crawl of it and being patient as all hell. And I actually achieved quite a bit in Final Fantasy XI, even though I was a PS2 gamer. All my Final Fantasy friends, I know a couple of them watch this. Yeah, I was on PS2 the whole time. You guys thought I was a PC gamer, but, hey, it just goes to show that console gamers can succeed in PC-intensive games. And they can fit in with the community of PC gamers, and they can, meld appropriately. That being said, Guild Wars 2 isn't a party-intensive game, which is good. Guild Wars 2 you can solo from start to finish. You can progress on your own at your own speed, and that's really, really awesome. Now, bringing console gamers into Guild Wars 2 with the stylized combat of it, where it's more, I wouldn't say, well, let's just call it what it is. It's more arcadey. It's more, you have to react. It's not point and click, and it's not, there's no time frames on it. It's up in your face, stylized combat. That works well with consoles, okay? And with the DC Universe, it went free to play and it really blew up, but it is the shining example that a huge MMO can work on consoles as well as PC. Now, I think the thing that ArenaNet has to consider if they're going to do this is that they want to cross-platform this game. You don't want to lock out, your PlayStation, your Xbox users. Come on, Nintendo's not going to get it. You already know they're not going to get it. But, I mean, you can't lock them out into separate camps because that only hurts your game. But I think that they already understand that, and I think that if it does eventually end up on consoles, you're going to see a cross-platform. It's only going to make world versus world that much better. The dungeons is going to be probably kind of shaky. You know what I mean? And just you're going to see a lot of noobish activities going on here and there, but you know, that's expected in any game, in anything that you play. So, and I think honestly the community of Guild Wars and ArenaNet that they've established actually is more accepting, and they'd welcome, you know, console players into the game, even though Guild Wars is a PC platform standard. You know what I mean? And it's just something that a lot of people, myself included, kind of don't want to give up. You know what I mean? I'm thinking, you know, if you're a console gamer and you want to play my game, get a PC. Play it with me on a PC. Because to me, you know, Guild Wars 2, I couldn't imagine Guild Wars on a console. I really couldn't. Just like I couldn't imagine World of Warcraft on a console. And honestly, people take that comparison all the time and say, oh, World of Warcraft would do great if you put it on PS3, or World of Warcraft would do great if you put it on Xbox 360. No. See, I don't see it because I'm so used to it being a certain way. And that's the problem. It's like you have a hardened audience of one frame or another. It's just like console gamers are like, oh, I don't think, you know, Dark Souls should go to, you know, PC because that's their game. You understand? It's like you don't want everything shared so it just like floods the market. You want a reason to own what you own. You know what I mean? There's a reason why I own a PC over, you know, a PS3 or Xbox 360, which I haven't got hooked up. But there's a reason why I game on a PC versus sitting my fat ass on the couch and watching a television screen. Does it cost more for PC? Yeah, it does. So, yeah. And honestly, yeah, you're not going to see anything about, you know, PC and console coming out at the same time. I'd say probably a year minimum if they go ahead with this, that you're going to see it come out. And actually what I was considering and pondering was maybe, and this would be a huge push, but you know that the PS4 and the Xbox 720, I think it's codenamed 720 right now. I might be wrong. Correct me if I'm wrong in the comments, and I'll give you credit. But you could see it basically with the new generations of consoles coming out in the, you know, near future, not near future, whenever they come out, but they gotta come out because they're older. The PS3 and the Xbox 360 are getting kind of ancient now. It's about time for a new console launch. You feel me? But that would be a good push for sales of the systems in themselves for people that are really excited about, you know, what Guild Wars 2 is all about and everything, to put it out as a launch title for the new systems. So maybe you could see something like that. I don't know. All in all, at first I was hesitant about it because I remember the time of Final Fantasy XI and how you really had to prove yourself, but I don't see that happening here. And I'm also hesitant that it might, you know, but NCSoft, ArenaNet, they aren't the type of storytellers or people that are going to water down a game for a specific audience. They're pretty hardcore with what they do. They come out with a plan and they stick to it, which is great. So I'm really not seeing the watered down issue, and I'm not seeing anything where they're going to limit PC for, you know, console, because as you know, PC is infinite in its, you know, how it can resource and everything, whereas a console is pretty much, you know, a box, and it's kind of hard to basically it's kind of hard to do like the same thing cross-platform, but it can be done. It's been proven it can be done, and it's worked out exceptionally for a lot of games. So yeah, so like I said, I'm in the middle. I'm excited for it. I'm more excited because Guild Wars 2 is getting really close. Anybody saw the post, there's going to be a beta announcement, you know, in the next week or two that they said you don't want to miss, which I'm pretty much assuring is going to be open beta news, which would fit into the time frame that I specified for open beta. And actually the Guild Wars release, the original game, the date is coming up for when it originally released, and if they're looking to make a memorial or a memoriam for Guild Wars versus Guild Wars 2, that date would be the date to look at for official release, a launch, which wouldn't be too bad because that's in April. So we're closing in fast, and it feels great. Of course, I'm trying to get through games too, but yeah. So I want to know what you guys think. I want to know what you think about this whole Guild Wars 2 to console kind of thing. If you think that it's a good idea, bad idea, why? I want you guys to give your opinions down below in the comments. Be sure to like and favorite this, even though it's not, you know, funny or goofy, or I'm not making a tool out of myself for the most part. But yeah, I want to know what you guys think about this little tidbit of news, and if you remember them saying anything publicly about, you know, they were planning on doing console launch, let me know about that too, and give me a link to the resource if you can, because I honestly don't remember them saying anything about it. I don't know. Other than that, guys, yeah, so that's my ramble for the weekend, or the week, Monday. Yeah, it's Monday. Amazing. Seems like time's slowing down though the closer we get to Guild Wars 2, but you know, it's still going pretty fast. But yeah, so that's about it. That's all I have to say. It's like I'm on the fence about it. I can see the pluses to it, but I can also see the negatives to it. You know what I mean? It's not like all pluses. It's not all flowers and daisies about this news for, you know, hardcore PC gamers. But at the same time, you can see the benefits and the relevance of it. Like I said, it's only going to make the game bigger and better, and give them the revenue that they need to keep it operational, and you know, not rely so heavily on the cash shop or anything like that, and just make it the absolute best MMO they can possibly make it. And that's going to do it for me this week, guys. Like I said, comments below, like, favorite this, subscribe if you haven't subscribed already, and share it with your friends. I'm sure there's a lot of people out there that don't know this little tidbit of information, and it's good to get the word out about this kind of stuff. I'm just looking for what you guys are thinking about it. Until next time, peace.
Every day I'm shuffling.